Hi everyone, my name is Shane Lomax and I'm the owner-operator of Biff Ventures Outfitting located in Southwest New Brunswick. So you guys know my sons, William and Elijah. They have their YouTube channel, Squirrel Pursuit, and there's been a lot of interest lately in moose hunting, and they've asked me to do a moose hunting video to document but also to answer some questions. There's a public moose hunt here in the province of New Brunswick, and we're going to try to systematically go through like a classroom style situation where I can answer some questions. And they've asked me to do a Moose Hunt 101 video with you today. So we're going to keep it really simple. Today we're just going to overview three main points that I think are very important when it comes to especially a public land moose hunt, which we have in the province of New Brunswick. So we have 5 days to make it happen. So when I have a client coming in from overseas or from out of country, there's a lot of pressure on me as an outfitter. So, to get everything done in 5 days and to put a mature bull on the ground. So it's really important to do your pre-scouting, to do some of the homework in advance, but also over the years as I've been doing this, there's some really important points of moose hunting that I keep at the forefront of my mind when it comes to getting close to moose season. So number one is food source, number two is cover, and number three are where are the cows. So our 5-day season in New Brunswick is late September, so it circles around the rut period, and it's really important, of course, that time of year to know where the cows are for those bulls. So number one is food source. Okay, so if we're going to talk about these three things, food source, cover, and where are the cows, it's really important to use mapping. This is a tool that is available for everybody. There's all kinds of different applications that you can get for your phone, for your home computer, and using detailed maps is a really easy way to locate some animals really quick. And I can look at a map, whether it's Google Earth or I use iHunter on my phone, especially while I'm in the woods. I can use that to narrow down some areas, and I'm going to help you see from the map here how I do that, where we can find those big mature bulls, okay? So food source is really important, especially to find the cows. So that time of year, before the pressure starts in September, the bulls and the cows are both out feeding most of the time in newer cuts, 4 to 5 year old cuts. And as you can see from this map here, there's lots of area that you can obviously tell has been cut in the last few years. Now, you have to put feet on the ground sometimes to see how old these cuts are, depending on the age of your mapping. But as you can also see, there's lots of roads that are going through this area because of skidders and other machinery that went through it at one point. And in a public hunt, you're going to deal with a lot of traffic, roadside traffic, and I don't like that. I try to get as far away from that as I possibly can. However, the cuts do provide a food source that helps us target some of those animals. So the cows and bulls are out feeding in those cuts. If you go do some pre-scouting in August, you're going to see lots of animals out there in the cuts. But once people get in the woods and start hunting, you're not going to see them. So targeting the areas around the cuts that are close to that provide cover as well as food are really important. So some of this mature area that you see on the edge of these cuts, they provide cover, but they also, if it's mature enough wood, there's also food in there as well. So a big mature bull is not going to be in a deer thicket. So a big mature bull needs some space, needs some big growth, big spruce, mixed growth in order to feel comfortable, but also to feel safe. So if they have an area that's away from these roads, away from where the traffic is going to be, I'm just kind of honing in on this area to show you is from the topography of this map, we know that this is like a low-lying area that would contain some water. So this area here is perfect because it has mature wood, it has water, but also the animals are close to a food source and they're not close to any roads. So if I was looking at this map here as a potential area to focus in on, I would be looking at the mature area that is away from the roads. This is probably like 400 or 500 meters away from any road, but also provides some food, cover, and some area for those cows to be in, which those big bulls are going to be looking for. So in your mapping, you can easily tell which is evergreen and which is hardwood because of the time of year that the mapping was taken. So this is probably maple and birch cover. But in those big mature stands of wood, there's lots of young growth that those big bulls can eat on during the day. So a lot of times people think that, first thing in the morning, just before dark, is those prime times to find those big bulls out in those cuts. And it is. But we have to remember that those big bulls are somewhere at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We've been able to harvest a lot of mature animals in the middle of the afternoon, late morning, and even 4 or 5 o'clock in the day, just because we're willing to go into the woods. And a lot of guys just are just not willing to take that extra time, extra effort to actually go after those animals. So although the cuts provide a great opportunity first thing in the morning and just before dark, those feeding times, those animals also are feeding during the day. So in a big mature stand of woods here, a big bull may leave this feeding area and work into this mature area, but also have some food during the day. So there may be some bedding in there, but they also have food throughout the day. So knowing where those animals are during the day gives you a much longer span of time where you can get in, where we have 5 days. So we hunt really, really hard. We don't just, hunt an hour and a half or 2 hours in the morning, an hour at night. We hunt from daylight to dark during those 5 days. And you have to be willing to put some miles on, but using detailed mapping and a little bit of legwork can go a long ways. Okay, everyone. So listen, thank you for joining us today. And again, this is like base level stuff that we're speaking about today, but we wanted to get a sense of what the appetite is for this. We would like some interaction. If you guys are subscribers, or if you're seeing this for the first time and you have some questions, we'd love to be able to answer some of those questions. In the future, we'd like to do some segments about even calling and locating some of those big bulls and getting in situational so we know how to call, when not to call, all those things. There's lots of aspects of the moose hunt that I'd love to share. But if you guys would want to take a minute and ask us some of those questions, we can certainly address some of those questions in a later segment. So I hope that this was helpful as a baseline for our hunting videos that we're going to start. And we'll look forward to sharing some information with you in the near future.